After completing this video, you will be able to outline the steps to implement a simple Azure AI agent for fetching live news. Now, let's conclude our exploration of Azure AI agents by learning how to implement a simple agent. Here are the steps. The first step is quite familiar. This is to create a Foundry project and deploy our model. Then we will create an agent. After that, we will configure the grounding tool. This is rather new. Grounding tools will connect the agent to external data sources such as APIs. For our news agent, this tool is going to fetch live information from the web to keep responses accurate and current. Then we will chat with the agent in order to get news summaries. We can interact, of course, using natural language. Questions such as what happened in the stock market today, and we will receive grounded summaries. Finally, we will also note how we can use the agent SDK to run Python code. This can be used to integrate our agent with websites, dashboards, or other automated systems. Sounds exciting. Let's plunge right in. We kick things off by creating a Foundry project and deploying a model. Here we are in the Azure AI Foundry. By now, this UI is very familiar to us. We click on the plus Create New button over on the top right. Then we are prompted for the resource type. This is also equivalent to the project type. This is where we choose between Foundry resources and Hub resources. And for this, we are going to create a Foundry project, so we go with the default selection. That takes us to the next step, where we are prompted for the project name, as well as various other details, including the Azure AI Foundry resource that's towards the center right of this dialog. We also have to specify the resource group and the region we hit, Create. And our Foundry project and Foundry resource both come into existence. Here we are now. You can see from the breadcrumbs that we are looking at our project overview. This again is a familiar page to us. Then we click on Model Catalog. Here, it's important to note that agents do not support all models. For instance, at the time of this recording, the latest OpenAI model is GPT-4.1. This, however, cannot currently be used with agents. We select and deploy the GPT-4o model, so we click through into GPT-4o. That takes us to the details of that model. We click on the bright blue Use this model button over on the top left. An image of the Deploy GPT-4o dialog box displays. Then we've got to enter the deployment details, including the deployment name and type. We've gone with the default of Global Standard. We hit Deploy, and that, in turn, allows us to open our model in the playground. You see that here. In the navigation pane on the left, the presenter highlights the Playgrounds option. So we click on that blue Open in Playground button, and now we engage in a little chat with this ungrounded model. You can see in the chat history window over on the top right, we've asked a question: can you give me a summary of the current business news stories? And the answer which has come back makes it very clear that the model's knowledge only extends up to October 2023. Remember that this is a plain vanilla model deployment. There's no agent here yet, and this model alone does not know anything about the answer. That now sets us up for step 2, which is creating an agent. So here we are back in the Azure AI Foundry, and you can see over on the left that we have clicked on the Agents section. An image of the Agents page displays. At the center of the screen, you can see that there is a list of my agents. Right now, we don't have any agents. There also is a tab for My Threads and Catalog. We now click on that blue plus New Agent button, and for once we are not taken into a Create dialog. Instead, this has automatically created a new agent with an auto-generated name. As of right now, we cannot configure the agent name. This tells us just how new and how raw this feature is. You see, the name here is Agent 545. There is also an agent ID. If you look over on the right, you can see that there is the included deployment. This is our GPT-4o model deployed. And then we also have agent description. And at the very bottom, you see there is a card for knowledge. Next, let's specify the agent system instructions. We are looking at the text file containing those instructions, and you can see that we make use of hash and double action in order to mark out the sections. We say the role is that you are a real-time news agent that fetches and summarizes up-to-date information from the web. We also explain the purpose, the capabilities, limitations, example prompts, and the response format. This is a straight-out prompt engineering exercise for the most part. However, look also at the capabilities. That's a little different. This says, perform web searches for breaking news or specific topics. That's on line 10. That one instruction is new and rather different than what you would be able to do in a chatbot right out of the box. We now take all of these instructions, switch back over to the Azure AI Foundry, and we paste them into the instructions section at the lower right of the screen. You see there between the deployment and the agent description. Let's scroll a little further down over on the right, and there we see that we also have sections for knowledge, actions, and connected agents. Knowledge is what we are currently interested in. This is where we can specify data sources such as documents and websites, which the agent will be able to refer to. This includes Bing Search for grounding. We have not added any knowledge sources so far, but we can now click on that plus add button. And that opens up this dialog where you see the different types of data sources. This is important, so let's take a moment to admire the scenery. Files allows us to upload PDF, .doc, or .txt files. The agent can read and reference these while answering its questions. Then there's Azure AI Search. This will allow you to connect an Azure Cognitive Search Index to allow the agent to search over structured or enriched data. Then there's Microsoft Fabric. So here we would wire up one-league tables of Power BI datasets. Then there's grounding with Bing Search. This is what allows the agent to make live web searches. Then there's grounding with Bing Custom Search. Note that that's in preview. There, the Bing search results will be restricted to specific domains or URLs, so you can use this to provide more controlled and relevant grounding. Then there are a couple of other interesting sources: TripAdvisor for travel data and guidance, and Morningstar for analyst research and financial information. Here we click on Grounding with Bing Search. That is the first in the second row. This then opens up a dialog with that bright blue plus Create Connection button. However, that does not seem to be a way here to wire up a brand new Bing Search connection. So we'll have to switch over to the Azure portal, provision that resource, and then come back here.